Even if you feel underqualified, apply. Like, what's the worst they could say? No. You still have the job you have now. Like, just apply. You never know.
GOOGii glam.
Hey retro babes, it's GOOGii. I'm your favorite Afrofuturistic retro babe and your favorite YouTuber. And today we're gonna talk about how to find the perfect job. Now, this is not how to find your dream job. We're still working on that because my dream job is to be on here full time making bank, which is gonna happen. Wait and see. How to get the perfect job. So these tips are what worked for me. Honestly, I didn't realize that I manifested the perfect job for me before I got it. Almost not a year, maybe like 6 months before I got it. Was not a fast manifestation. However, if you want to see how I manifested in a time crunch, specifically my apartment, I'll have that video there. But I basically knew the backstory is that I worked in food service for years. I worked at a grocery store specifically in food service. So it was a lot of customer service, it was a lot of retail, it was a lot of food service, it was a lot of standing on your feet, lifting things. It was a lot of managerial work without managerial pay, basically. And for a long time, I wanted a sit down job. But I had told myself that I could never get a sit down job or that 9 to 5s were terrible or I hated 9 to 5s, blah, 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 blah. We'll get to that in a second. Also, I did not write any points for this video, so if it's all over the place, that is why. And also, I just came from brunch, so if my eyes are a little heavy, that is why. So step one is to write down what you want out of a job or what you don't want. Either one works. I knew for a fact I wanted a job that I could sit. That is a big thing. I knew I wanted a job where I could sit down. I knew I wanted a job that was like a healthy environment, basically. And I knew I wanted a job that was like a smaller corporation or like a smaller workplace. Like, I did not want a job where you're basically just a number, there's too many people to manage. And I just feel like that's where it causes a lot of chaos in my experience. That might not be your experience, in my experience. So that's not what I wanted to do. I did not want that. I wanted basically the three things that I wanted was a job where I could sit down, a job with a set schedule, and a job where it was not that many people there. Like, that's what I wanted. Preferably, I did not want to work Sundays too. That's another like little thing in there. I did not want to work Sundays. I remember scripting the job that I wanted. At first I wanted to like work from home, but then I realized that was boring. I want to work in the fashion field. That's what I really wanted to do. That was like my main thing. So when I scripted about my job or about my whole life, um when I was reinventing myself, which I'm going to do a video on that too. I know that sounds redundant, but I am going to do these videos, y'all. I promise. I promise. No excuse. Um, so when I decided that I wanted to reinvent myself, I wanted a healthy environment. That was like the main thing I wrote down. I wanted a healthy environment. I wrote down, I wanted um, all the things I just said I wanted. But I mainly wanted it to be in fashion. So spoiler alert, the perfect job for me is not in fashion. That's why I said this is how to find the perfect job for you and not how to find the dream job. Um, so after I wrote down what I wanted, I basically did not settle. I said this in another video. That is another point. Do not settle. Also, do not be afraid to leave a job if it is not giving you what you need. I know that it comes from a place of privilege from me because I am only taking care of me. I do not have kids. I do not have a man. I don't have a husband or a wife or anything like that. It's just me taking care of me and now my cat, Labby. But besides me and Lavender, like, I literally could just pick up and go if I do not like what a job is giving me or serving me. There's always another job. Always another job. I feel like when you get stuck in a job, the job that I had before was for 7 years. And I just told myself mentally that I could not get anything else. So I had to change my mindset that I could get the things that I wanted and that I am capable and I am skilled. And then I had to actually put in the work and start, going into the unknown and getting another job. I was so brainwashed into thinking that I could never get out of this state that I was too scared to even try. I know this video is all over the place. I'm so sorry. But so yeah, I was working that job. Then I moved to Florida and I was forced to like leave that job. I feel like if I did not move to Florida, I would still be there. So I'm kind of glad I moved to Florida. But when I moved back here, I knew this was not the job I wanted to be at. It was not. I tried it for a month again. I was like, oh, no, 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 baby. Times have changed. We got to find something else. So I did not settle and I left. I've had multiple jobs since then, and that's why I say keep going until you find the job for you. For you. So, another tip that I have is to go for your love language as far as a job goes. That's how you're going to find the healthiest environment. Some people love jobs that have sales because they love receiving gifts, they love receiving money. They love doing acts of services, helping someone find the best thing for them. They like jobs like a call center or working at a car dealership, something like that. Insurance, something where it's like sales and you can see the sales growing, you can see your progress growing, you get the recognition. Some people like the words of affirmation and the recognition. For me, I like words of affirmation and I like gifts, but I don't like selling. I don't like communication. That's not my thing. I don't there is selling at my job, but we're definitely not a job where we push the sales. I've definitely been in jobs like that before and I hated it. Finding a job that fits into your love languages is key. And you can find specific questions that you can ask when you do an interview that can let you know, like for me, I wanted a job where I felt supported because I was not getting that from my job when I was working in food service. I feel like they would throw you under the bus for anything. So I would just ask them, if you make a mistake, how do you deal with an employee making a mistake? What does it take for you to be fired? And they said it's very rare. My manager said it's very rare for someone to be fired from this job because we will take our time out and coach them. If someone is not performing adequately, and he said this in the interview, if someone's not performing adequately, that is on me as a manager, not on the employee. I was like, are we taking accountability up in here? Is that what we do? Sign me up. Sign me up. So I just knew then, and then yes, my job does have like incentive pay, so it does come in with the gift giving, but I've noticed after working there that it was more so the words of affirmation that I really like. I like hearing the recognition. I like hearing you're doing a good job. I like hearing you've improved and all that, more so than the gifts. So that's the crazy part. So another tip I have is don't be afraid to go for the job that you're not qualified for. You 9 times out of 10, okay, just go for it. I'm sorry. I be seeing these girlies on TikTok saying how women can get in tech without experience. And though I'm not in tech, I think that's so amazing that the only person really holding you back from getting the job you want is you and your mindset and you thinking that you can achieve what you want to achieve because it's not on the paper right now. Like, you have skills you don't even think that you have. Like for me, I worked at Jewel, and like I said, they did a lot of manager work without manager pay. So I didn't realize how much leadership skills I have, how much delegating skills I have, how good of skills I have with efficiency and accuracy and customer service. And I think with my job now, it's really important to have good communication and to build a repertoire, I can't say that word, to build a connection with your customers. And I definitely learned that when I was at Jewel. So when I first applied to the job I'm at now, I work at a bank. I was telling my sister, I remember I was like, I don't know if this would be the job for me because I've never worked at a bank. I've never handled big amounts of cash. I don't know how to use anything. I don't know how to sign a customer up. I don't have any experience. And my sister's like, who cares? Basically, she's like, girl, you'll be fine. Just apply. Who cares? And literally, when I went into the interview, he's like, it's okay if you don't have experience. That's what training's for. We train you very extensively. I was most nervous when I started that job was messing up because of what I was conditioned from my last job and not being in a healthy environment. And he was like, we take you through training. If you're ever feeling comfortable, let me know. I can go over things. Like to this day, he still goes over the things we learned in training that I already know. He just, any opportunity he gets to reiterate something, he will reiterate it, because it's better that he says it and feels good in the moment that he tells me that a procedure is a procedure than me not know. And that type of support is like unmatched. So I would definitely say, even if you feel underqualified, apply. Like, what's the worst they could say? No. You still have the job you have now. Like, just apply. You never know. You never freaking know. And I love jobs that train, because then you can take that experience with you to the next job and to the next job. You definitely do not have to stay where you're at. That's the misconception that they put into our minds. We got to stay where we at. Nah, girl. If you don't like it, get that experience, get that training for 6 months to a year to put on your resume, and then move the fuck on to something bigger and better. Another tip for like your job, this is more so after you already got the job. When I first started my job at the bank, I definitely didn't know if it was for me, especially being someone who was really against 9 to 5s. That was never my life. I'm definitely an artist at heart and definitely like the eat the rich type. So working at a bank 9 to 5, when I'm the bitch who wears piercings and colored tattoos and stuff like that, was just out of reach for me. Romanticizing your life comes into play a lot. So I just started, I know for me, I love dressing up, right? I love the fantasy. I love pretending I'm someone else. That's why I like dressing up in my room and posting TikToks and stuff like that. So I was like, why don't I incorporate that with my job? And you guys saw my video of the fall fashion, fall plus size fashion, like retro fashion. And I literally pretend like I'm dressing up to go to this high-end corporate job like a working girl. I'm like cosplaying every day at my job. I get so much joy in making my lunch. Like I act like I'm in like one of those that girl aesthetic videos, and I'm like making my lunch and stuff. And like when it's a nice day, I sit outside and I just enjoy the area that I'm in. Like these are ways to make your job, even when you hate it, better. Like just romanticizing it, just being in a state of delusion and imagining you're somewhere else getting paid something better. Another thing that really helped me when I first started my job was like scripting. I remember I started watching Sammy Ingram's videos, and she was talking about like affirm. And my job, like I said, is sales, and I just am not a fan of sales. And that was like one of the points I was like nervous about when I first started this job. And I just wrote down, I'm very good at my job. I'm very good at sales. I'm the best at sales. Sales come easy to me. I'm the best at my job. People love me there. I tell you, like within the first month, I wasn't doing sales yet, but I kept getting good reviews from my customer service. Like in the first month, where I was recognized on calls, I was getting put in the newsletter for my job, to the point now that when I started sales, it was a little rocky at first because I was getting used to it, but now I'm like 100% sales. And I honestly, a couple weeks ago, my manager was telling me like, hey, you're getting recognized. We're going to put you on a call. You're going to share the techniques you did to get your sales rise so high. And I'm just sitting here thinking, I don't do anything. Because I affirmed it so much, it just happens. I don't do anything special. There's no stress on me. I don't feel the stress I did before when I was in these commission-based jobs. Say hi to Lavi. In these commission-based jobs. So yeah, scripting helps a lot if you're in a job that you're kind of nervous to start, or if you're in a job that you kind of hate. You can affirm and change the trajectory of your reality. You can what's it called, revision. You can do revision affirmations, and that helps a lot too. So now that I've told you guys how to get the perfect job and how to maintain that perfect job, I am to the point now where I've built this soft life where I just wake up, go to work, look fabulous, and come home. I want to level it up now. We're going from perfect job to dream job. We're going to manifest that dream job. Like I told you, I already told y'all what the dream job is. Working in fashion, working in hair and makeup, honing the skills I already have, being on here full time and getting that bank. Like, watch, I'm going to have 1 million followers. Just watch. We're affirming that shit to happen. So I hope you guys got something from that video. I am so sorry it's all over the place. I will never film after brunch ever again. Like, you could tell in my eyes, we done had brunch and it was good. But I hope you guys have the best day. I hope you got something from this video, and let me know down below like what your dream job is, what your perfect job is. Do you have your perfect job? Are you working towards getting that or your dream job? And if there are any tips you can leave, let me know. It is very, very accessible for you. You are very worthy and you should just go for it. Just go for it. Like, what's the worst they could say? Yes? Go for it, girl. You are more than qualified, babe. You really are. I love you, babe.